The Netherlands, also known as Holland and home of the Dutch, is a popular tourist destination country in Europe for sightseeing. From its museums to cuisine, rivers and canals, to its tulips to windmills, the Netherlands has something for everyone. From incredible architecture to fascinating history, museums, and cuisine, the Netherlands has it all. So what are 5 amazing sights to see in the Netherlands? Stay tuned to find out. Number 1, the amazing syrup waffle factory in Gouda is Gouda. Everyone knows Gouda is famous for its Gouda cheese, but what about its waffles? The city of Gouda is not only the cheese capital of Holland, it's also home of the world-famous stroopwafel. What's a stroopwafel, you ask? It's that sweet and tasty classic Dutch treat that everybody loves, the amazing syrup-filled soft waffle cookie. So, how are stroopwafels made? Here in Gouda, you can visit the syrup waffle factory, where anyone can observe and experience how they make the good syrupy filling in stroopwafels called konfusen. Then enjoy your stroopwafels as you stroll by Gouda's gorgeous streets, lovely narrow canals. Where can one find these stroopwafels? At the Gouda cheese market, you can not only find cheese galore, but you can also get yourself as many stroopwafels as your heart desires. They're soft and chewy, while blending both an old world taste of maple syrup and caramel. Also, don't forget about those tasty porfriches, which are like little bursts of custard goodness in your mouth. Before leaving Gouda, Gouda's a city that's filled with fine art, food, and architecture. Before leaving, don't forget to visit the 15th century Gouda Town Hall or Gouda Museum, where you'll see Gouda's amazing clay pottery on display. And don't forget, Gouda isn't all about cheese. If you're looking for a unique Dutch treat, the stroopwafels of Gouda are sure to please anyone with a sweet tooth. It's a great snack to have as you're strolling along Gouda's streets, taking in the sights. Number 2, Rotterdam's historical seaport and its amazing maritime museum. Why is Rotterdam so significant? Rotterdam is not only the second largest city, it's also historically and internationally one of the most important cities in the Netherlands. Most people think of Rotterdam as an architectural marvel. While it is where architectural feats like the Erasmus Bridge and cube-style houses have become the norm, some might not know that it's also home to one of the largest seaports in Europe. Thankfully, both Rotterdam and its magnificent port survived the siege during World War II. First established as a fishing village, Rotterdam is connected to the North Sea by the New Waterway and to the Rhine by the New Meuse River. It serves not only Germany, but also sends goods to both London and Paris. So what can we discover at the Maritime Museum? This is a city that prides itself on its history. Learn all about the impressive history of Rotterdam's historical seaport by visiting its Maritime Museum. Here, you see actual ships docked by the museum, which are all historic landmarks of the seaport, as well as Rotterdam's historic lighthouse and many different ship models to discover how ships are made. You can also explore the history of transporting goods through interactive computer games. You can even participate in workshops to learn how ships are built and more. Before leaving Rotterdam, don't forget to visit Markthal, one of Rotterdam's most impressive indoor markets. There's also the Rotterdam Zoo, which is perfect for visitors both young and old. Number 3, the Peace Palace of Hague. What is the Peace Palace? Hague is known internationally as a center for cultural justice and peace. It's the seat of Netherlands government and its prime cultural and political center. In addition to museums, the architecture of the Hague is sure to impress. One of the more impressive is the Peace Palace, home to the Institutional Court of Justice. What is the significance of the International Court of Justice? The Court of Justice could be seen as the center of political justice in the world. Directly connected to the United Nations, it ultimately unifies all nations internationally as a political and cultural center. So how can someone visiting Hague fully benefit from a visit to the Peace Palace and the International Court of Justice? Taking a tour of the Peace Palace. Make sure to stop the visitor center and set up a guided tour. The visitor center is free, but you will need a ticket to enter the palace. You can also take a virtual tour through their website. The motto of the Peace Palace is peace through law. The International Court of Justice strives to meet this standard as an example for the rest of the world to follow. Before leaving Hague, don't forget to visit museums like visit the Mauritshuis to see great art and enjoy Hague's stunning architecture. If you enjoyed visiting the Peace Palace, you'll want to visit the institutional buildings of Binnenhof, where you'll find the chambers of parliament, including the impressive Gothic structure, the Knights Hall. Number 4, the beautiful waterways of Utrecht. Utrecht, a city of dignity and class. A city with grand dignity, culture, and class. Utrecht is a city that is certainly worthy of your time. It's world famous for its Dom Tower, which is the bell tower which was once connected to St. Martin's Cathedral. It's also a fancy college town and home to the prestigious Utrecht University, which draws students from all over the world. In a city like Utrecht, which is filled with canals, a student can easily take a kayak to class instead of using a car, bus, or bicycle. How can visitors best use the canals in Utrecht? All along the promenade, you can hire locals to take you for a ride on their boats down the canals throughout the city. Make sure to go down Oldengracht, or Old Canal, which brings you through the city's quaint and gorgeous Old Town district, which is complete with restaurants and charming shops of all kinds. Utrecht's architecture displays stunning views on either side as you glide down canals sheltered by trees. Utrecht, a cultural center of magnificent proportions. While in Utrecht, make sure to visit Museum Speelklok, which is all about musical clocks. Musical clocks are a cultural icon in Dutch country. You can also explore Utrecht's railroad history at the Railway Museum, which will be lots of fun for the kiddos. Don't forget about the Utrecht University Botanical Gardens during springtime to see all the lovely flora and fauna that Utrecht has to offer. You won't be disappointed. Number 5, the Royal Delft Earthenware Factory. When visiting Delft, which is situated in the middle of Rotterdam and Hague, you'll want to visit the birthplace of Delftware. The Royal Delft Factory produced the sought-after precious white and baby blue Dutch pottery from the 17th century. What is Royal Delft Blue? Delft Blue is the term for the type of white and blue pottery made in Delft. In early days, it was popularly owned by upper-class families. Even now, creators of Delft Blue paint pottery as one would paint a picture book without any use of a machine. So where in Delft today can you find this historic and beautiful pottery? The Royal Delft Factory. While visiting Delft, you can tour the Royal Delft Factory, where you'll get to see how the pottery is made. You'll see examples of pottery both historic and brand new. During the factory tour, you can learn about the history of the pottery itself, not to mention some of Delft's fascinating history as well. The pottery is made entirely on location. Number 7, the Tulip Festival of Amsterdam. Amsterdam is an iconic city in the Netherlands, well known for its open-mindedness and its unique lifestyle. It also happens to be chock full of history, culture, and delicious cuisine. You can visit museums to celebrate artists like Rembrandt and Van Gogh. He's got an entire museum devoted to him. You can also learn the inspirational history of Anne Frank in the same place where she wrote her historical diary and hid out from the Nazis to survive. Yet, did you know that in the springtime, Amsterdam is most famous for one of the most iconic symbols of the Netherlands, the tulip flower? Why are tulips so significant to the Netherlands? Tulips were used by merchants in the 1600s to promote the status of wealth among Dutch patroners. What soon followed was known as tulip mania. When merchants began to swindle consumers by promising flowers before they were bought, the market began to collapse and the thrill of tulip mania soon faded. Today, the tulip symbolizes for the Netherlands greed buys grief, and signs displaying this wisdom can be seen in Amsterdam, not far from tulips planted throughout the city. What's the best way to see the tulips in Amsterdam? In springtime, tulips can be seen everywhere throughout the city, especially during Amsterdam's distinctive and memorable Tulip Festival. Beginning in March and ending in May, you'll want to visit the breathtaking Keukenhof Garden. You can also enjoy the tulip flower parade and visit an actual tulip farm. The Netherlands, a land that's full of history, art, and culture. Bottom line, the Netherlands is a country full of art, history, and culture. It's the place to go if you want to enjoy fine museums and good eats. Most places of significance can be enjoyed throughout the year, but make sure to visit Amsterdam to see the tulips during springtime. That's all for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.